Hi, I'm Katie from Overlooked to Overbooked, and I wanted to share with you this great video that Brian and I made. We have an online video course that teaches hosts how to take great listing photos, even if all they have is a smartphone and little to no photography experience. But we really wanted to illustrate what a big deal listing photos are when it comes to the success of the rental. We cannot stress this enough. So we're going to share with you some statistics, a great Carnegie Mellon study, some photo examples, what companies like Airbnb and HomeAway are saying about listing photos, and what our whole philosophy behind our course is. So take a look.
We wondered whether we could teach Airbnb hosts how to boost their profitability. Then we started getting testimonials like this. Our placement on Airbnb went from way down on the 8th page to the front page. Soon we were filled up at 85 to 88%.
And from that point forward, we knew we had something extremely valuable, and we wanted to share it with as many hosts as possible. What's our secret? Well, if it is a secret, it's hiding in plain sight. It's your listing photos.
Here's the thing. Hosts have lots of things to worry about. So do guests. Each get caught up in their own world, and neither spend much time thinking about things from the other's perspective. For instance, when's the last time you looked up your listing on Airbnb as part of a search? In other words, have you seen what the guest sees when they look at a screen of 10 to 20 thumbnails to choose from? Most hosts have not. It's like the Hunger Games. Your photo has to beat all the other photos on that page just to give yourself a chance.
People make most of their decisions from the oldest, most primal part of their brain. It assesses everything from the perspective of, is it safe or will it cause me pain? And this is a big deal when it comes to people viewing your photos.
When Katie and I started traveling extensively, we stayed almost exclusively at Airbnbs. It was often frustrating trying to choose our next stop because so many of the photos were lacking. They were blurry, or dark, or out of order, or lacking context.
We've stayed at dozens and dozens of Airbnbs around the world, and we've looked through thousands of listing photos. I was a video editor in Hollywood, and I worked for clients like Fox, Disney, and HGTV. I've put in my 10,000 hours of practice by figuring out how to make images more appealing, more attractive, more exciting. And isn't that the definition of what a vacation rental photo should be?
So these perspectives allow us to see the problem. Your lackluster listing photos are costing you thousands every year. But we have a solution, and it's a lot easier and faster than you might think. We get it. You have 30 things on your to-do list, and improving your photos isn't currently one of them. But we're going to show you why it should be.
In business, there's something called a sales funnel. And forgive me if I'm being too basic. You start with a huge number of potential customers at the top, and the funnel gets narrower as prospects go through various stages. To oversimplify on Airbnb, it's saw your lead photo, clicked on the listing, got interested enough to inquire, and then booked. The biggest thing to keep in mind is the more people click on your thumbnail photo, the wider the funnel is at the top. If you have a bad lead photo, you don't have a funnel. You have a straw. And that means it's an uphill battle even to get one booking.
When a potential guest is seeing 10 or 20 thumbnails, yours has to be attractive enough to beat the other options. And then the rest of your sequence has to keep the momentum going. Unfortunately, your homemade bread, complimentary wine bottle, and handwritten notes are all for naught if potential guests never click on your listing in the first place.
Now, here's the part that will strike fear in the hearts of hosts. With me and Brian, for example, it wasn't that we didn't have enough information to make a choice. It's that we instinctively didn't trust the hosts with bad listing photos.
We now know that there are millions of great hosts with average or worse photos, but I guarantee that most guests, when they see bad listing photos, they think to themselves, if they got this wrong, where else will they be cutting corners? On Airbnb, every book gets judged by its cover.
And what started out as frustration quickly shifted to empathy. These poor hosts, they're doing everything right except the most important thing. We have to help them. So we built a short video course that does exactly that. We believe there are very few things that you can do for your vacation rental business that would have a larger impact.
You work too hard on providing an exceptional experience for your guests to have your success short-circuited by something so easily fixable. We saw that the ROI possibilities for hosts was massive, And we knew the time and effort that hosts would need to devote to start reaping the rewards was just hours. All you have to do is listen to one of our students.
Hey, what's up? My name is Leslie Samuel, and I started doing Airbnb a little over a year ago. And when I started, I knew that I needed good pictures. That's what everyone kept saying, and that's what I saw on the platform. So I got my very expensive camera, and I took it with me to St. Martin, which is where my listings are, and I started taking pictures. But they just weren't looking as good as I knew they needed to look. So I started looking at my options, and I considered hiring a professional photographer. And then I stumbled onto Overlooked to Overbooked and the course that they have over there. And I decided, you know what? It's not a huge investment. I'm going to try it out and see how it goes. Within a few hours, I had looked through the video content, rushed through and take some pictures based on what I learned because I had a limited amount of time. And the result was amazing. My Airbnb business has gone very well, and a huge part of that has to do with the pictures that I was able to take as a result of this course, and then some of the help that Kati offered in editing the pictures and giving advice and so on. Extremely valuable. If you run a vacation rental and you need amazing pictures and you don't have a huge budget, if you're considering this course, trust me, get it. It'll make a huge difference, and you can thank me later.
Remember why you started with Airbnb in the first place? It's a great opportunity to make money while meeting amazing people. You're a dedicated, trustworthy professional who's trying to do good in the world. And you owe it to yourself to have listing photos that convey that professionalism. Great photos inspire trust from minute one.
Most hosts don't take the guest perspective enough to recognize how big a deal listing photos are in the success of a rental. Don't take our word for it. Every vacation rental business emphasizes that photos are the most important thing.
Airbnb did a study of 100,000 listings that showed that those with professional level photos make 40% more revenue than those without. And a staggering 72% of Airbnb photos have been characterized as low quality. That's very close to the same percentage that are struggling to fill their calendars. Coincidence?
Many hosts may not believe they have the time or talent to take good enough photos to generate more bookings, but we've proven that they do over and over, even with a smartphone. Some hosts even worry that making their photos look too good will risk setting their guests up for disappointment. Fear not. We teach you how to make your place look great, but not at the expense of realism.
I made sure that everything critical is included and that everything else is left on the cutting room floor. I won't waste your time, and I won't let you fail. The course is only a little over 3 hours of bite-sized 1 to 10 minute video lessons. You could start watching on Saturday morning and have beautiful listing photos by Sunday evening.
And a cascade of goodness flows from that. More inquiries per month, more guests per month, more great reviews, all of which leads to better rankings on Airbnb, and the virtuous circle keeps spinning. This is not hypothetical. It's happening now for hosts who've learned a few key things from us. One of our students won Vacation Rental of the Year in New Zealand, in part because of the photos. I had no photography training other than Kati's course and have done photo shoots with my smartphone camera just from what I learned.
And you'll be able to do it too, without spending tons on professionals or equipment. Like we said before, your smartphone is all you need. Without needing to be an artist or having special talent. Without spending weeks or months learning photography techniques, and without creating photos that will overpromise and underdeliver. Your rental won't disappoint guests.
A recent study from Carnegie Mellon University isolated 12 factors that separate high-quality Airbnb photos from low-quality ones. Our short video course teaches you how to optimize all 12 of them.
And according to their findings, that could result in more than 60 extra booked nights per year. And how awesome would that be? To have more bookings come in years into the future just because you got this one thing right.
So here's the deal. Recent stats say the average Airbnb booking is for 3.5 nights at about $150 a night. If you purchase Kati's video course, you'll be turning a profit with the very first guest you earn because of improved photos. And remember, this is not a moment-in-time skill. You'll know things that can be used whenever you make a change, paint a room, buy a new couch, etc. And these are skills that will enhance your ability to draw attention on social media as well.
And we want to make it impossible for you to fail. We're including 6 months of free email support. So if something doesn't make sense in the course or you just have a question for us, Brian and I are here to help. We read every email and we'll always get back to you, only depending on which time zone we're in. And for a limited time, we'll help you choose your lead photo. When you have your new set of listing photos ready to go, send us your URL, and I will not only help you choose a good photo to lead with, I will also edit it to look good but realistic. Plus, we have an unconditional lifetime guarantee. No risks, no strings attached.
We know you will get more guests from implementing these lessons. You're going to be able to walk into any room and confidently know how to photograph it. That's a warm feeling very few hosts are fortunate enough to have.
Vacation rental photos are not about technical perfection. They're about emotion. Something in the photos needs to reach through the screen and grab the viewer. And it's never been about the fancy camera. It's about knowing a few key things that make the difference. Look, we're not promising you that you'll make $50,000 next week or that you'll be fully booked for the month. This is just common business sense. Your rental calendar is a perishable commodity. Just as empty airline seats cannot earn revenue once the flight takes off, if no one's booked for the night, you'll never get a chance to earn that revenue. So every unbooked night is a wasted opportunity to earn. So don't let another week of bookings go to waste. Join Overlooked to Overbooked and fill up your calendar. So we really hope after watching that video, you'll go back and look at your listing from the perspective of the guest. And if what we're saying resonates with you, and if you have any questions about maybe your own photos or you're interested in a listing review, just email us and we'll get back to you. And when you email us, you're really reaching me and Brian. We're a small operation and we read every email. So we hope to hear from you soon.